He can wrestle. He's got very good jiu-jitsu. He hits fucking hard, and he's a big, durable dude. But I don't know if he's going to be able to wrestle with that guy.
It's hard to predict something, but I think Dricus is more solid. He can resist the very first rush from Chimaev, gourmet chain, and then we never know after the third round how Chimaev can, if he can sustain his energy after the third round. So I think this is my question.
With tension escalating in front of one of the most explosive bouts of recent UFC history, opinions are flying in quick, and to many surprise, it's many writing off Khamzat Chimaev. As the battle of trash talking and styles heats up between Chimaev and Dricus du Plessis, MMA's biggest mouths are dividing loyalties, and it's not the Chechen they're rallying behind. With the battle hanging in the balance, Joe Rogan cast a curveball into the debate by proposing that Khamzat Chimaev may not get through the tempest Dricus du Plessis is set to unleash. On his podcast, Rogan referred to du Plessis' skill of being able to weaponize clumsiness, take damage, and continue pushing a pace that shatters even the most technical attackers. Though Khamzat is still a human anomaly, Rogan questioned his gas tank and demeanor when pulled into the deep end. It was a line that turned the table and provided du Plessis with some real momentum going into fight week.
He can wrestle. He's got very good jiu-jitsu. He hits fucking hard, and he's a big, durable dude. But I don't know if he's going to be able to wrestle with that guy.
Firing that flame even hotter was Paulo Costa, who aligned with du Plessis, albeit for reasons as much about ill will as strategy. Costa's personal campaign against Chimaev, ignited by trash talk and controversy over his wife, has turned him into a vocal opponent of the Chechen sensation. Costa threw barbs at Khamzat's psyche and asserted that DDP's granite toughness and wild rhythm would reveal cracks in Chimaev's defenses. This was not merely fight analysis, it was personal grudge in disguise as a forecast, and it further fanned the flames of hype.
It's hard to predict something, but I think Dricus is more solid. He can resist the very first rush from Chimaev, gourmet chain, and then we never know after the third round how Chimaev can, if he can sustain his energy after the third round. So I think this is my question.
MMA legend Demetrius Mighty Mouse Johnson and internet analyst The MMA Guru also weighed in on Dricus' side. Mighty Mouse was impressed by DDP's unorthodox movement, stray attack angles, and capacity to frustrate rhythm and timing-based fighters. At the same time, the MMA Guru doubled down on the cardio issues Khamzat has, positing DDP's capacity for turning exhaustion into a weapon would be a nightmare for a fighter like Chimaev, who generally dominates early and disappears late. Their opinions were no hype. These were unvarnished assessments from voices famous for cutting through smoke.
DDP? I don't know anymore, man. These guys are, I used to think, DDP's got him. And I still think that, dude, he might just be too strong to be muscled around like this.
Yeah.
But Chimaev is truly on a different level.
I think DDP beats him.
I think he could, and I am leaning that way.
Yeah.
But now I'm real.
Yeah.
I also want DDP to win.
Brendan Schaub also chose DDP, attributing it to what he referred to as the intangible chaos du Plessis introduces into the octagon. On his program, Schaub discussed how Chimaev has never had to deal with someone who breaks down the mold and makes fights sprint like chaos. Schaub's comments lent further credence to the list of esteemed voices cautioning that this fight is not at all one-sided.
UFC came out, speaking of dingers, UFC came out with some freaking bombs.
Really?
They announced Ilia Topuria, Charles Oliveira, Khamzat, DDP in Chicago.
Khamzat, DDP.
Who you got in that? Let's start with that. Khamzat, DDP, who you got? I got a feeling DDP wins that.
I have Khamzat.
I don't.
Yeah.
If Khamzat can get done the first round and a half, maybe, I just think that thing goes past the third and DDP takes over. I think he TKOs him.
I think Khamzat is a better striker, and I think Khamzat's a better wrestler. And I think DDP is a killer, but I think it's Khamzat's time.
Could be totally off on Khamzat. He's a minus 200. Dude, take my fucking money.
Really? You got DDP?
Yes. Especially as a dog. I figured it'd be the favorite.
I have to say,
I figured DDP would be like a minus 150. Well, Khamzat, I look at the Gilbert Burns fight. I look at the Kamaru Usman fight. You're like, okay.
Yeah, but he did out wrestle Kamaru a lot.
Even Robert Whittaker, who had a taste of Dricus' strength, didn't rule his hopes out. He even warned in a cautious way that Duplessis is a special danger that Khamzat hasn't ever faced before. Whittaker mentioned DDP's capability of receiving shots and continuing to throw bombs at full force, his aggressive forward advance, and his unwillingness to allow structure to define his style. He wasn't directly selecting Dricus, but his admiration for the South African's efficacy rang throughout the MMA world and validated the notion that this is no mismatch.
I think he beats both of them. I do. I think Dricus would be the harder opponent of Sean and him, just because if Dricus survives, Dricus is just good at surviving, at being there. And if we've seen anything with Chimaev, is that he gets tired committing so heavily to his shot and the grappling transitions early in the fight. So maybe that plays out differently if it gets dragged out later. I don't see him having a problem with Sean though, like at all.
Wow.
The perennial backing of Dricus wasn't solely due to his unorthodox angles and gangling offense. Eddie Alvarez quietly alluded to a more profound, more telling aspect that is usually overlooked: Khamzat's wont to mentally flag in the face of things not going according to plan. Alvarez never said it exactly, but he referenced how fighters such as DDP have success in anarchy as opposed to Khamzat, whether or not he was dominating, yet to demonstrate such tenacity when having to improvise in mid-fight. That psychological facet put some weight into the stylistic discussion and plenty of doubt into the Khamzat camp.
I can't pick that. Yeah, Dricus is like this odd character for me. Like I never really, watching him aesthetically, it don't all look perfect. It's very like, it doesn't look, aesthetically it doesn't look good, but he gets the job done. His conditioning's crazy. He's one of the hardest workers in the entire sport, and he finds a way. He's one of them guys who find a way regardless of how it looks. So you can never count him out. But I think Chimaev, if it goes past round 2, Dricus.
TJ Dillashaw then tore the lid off of that secret weakness by mentioning directly that Chimaev has difficulty with adversity. Dillashaw asserted that Khamzat's greatest problem isn't his fighting style, his stamina, and how he responds when he's not the one calling the shots. He referenced fights in the past where Khamzat was panicked or irresponsible when faced with adversity, and contended that DDP possesses the ideal combination of qualities to induce that very breakdown. Dillashaw's bluntness left little room for guesswork. If Dricus makes it past the initial rounds, he might shatter Khamzat in ways that nobody else can.
Whoever I root for, is usually
the Drake curse, the Mike Perry curse.
Yeah, low key. But Rob will be like, nah,
the platinum poltergeist is what we could call it.
Oh. Derek Lewis versus...
No, bro.
But that does not indicate that Khamzat's camp is oblivious to the issue. Dillashaw disclosed that Chimaev's new training camp was constructed to specifically counteract this psychological vulnerability, and that he's closely collaborating with Arman Tsarukyan to hone his poise under stress. The objective is obvious: toughen up Khamzat's will and challenge his capacity to remain patient amidst the tumult. Hooking up with Arman, a pressure fighter and scrambler master himself, indicates that Khamzat is not leaving things to fate this time.
Well, I introduced Arman to Sam Calavita, which has been working with him, and you've seen the way he's been looking lately. But now I've also introduced Chimaev to him. So Sam Calavita's got like some killers in his garage. He does all of his strength conditioning in his garage, which is amazing. It's like Rocky style training. So Chimaev's doing it right now. I highly suspect he's gonna have a better gas tank for this next fight, and I think he's gonna get the win.
Further fueling that speculation was leaked footage of Chimaev and Arman Tsarukyan being spotted together. While the video offered no technical insight, it confirmed the rumors. Khamzat is working with one of the most dangerous grinders in the UFC. Whether that alliance results in tangible changes on fight night remains to be seen, but it sent a clear signal to fans and opponents alike. Chimaev is evolving, and he's aware of the whispers. And of course, speaking of believers, Chael Sonnen is still very much in Khamzat's corner. Sonnen has gone and deconstructed exactly how Chimaev defeats DDP: initial dominance via wrestling pressure, control of position, and suffocating ground and pound before Dricus can become uncomfortable. Chael emphasized Khamzat's best course is to shut down the mayhem before it even begins, suffocate DDP with cage pressure, and not give him a chance to gain confidence. It's a plan that succeeds only if Khamzat's flawless, but Sonnen never hesitated to wager on superiority.
How does he beat him? He starts with plan A, which is to take him down and maul him. And if that doesn't work, which in the past it hasn't, he attempts to bludgeon him on his feet more than he gets bludgeoned. That's the answer to the question.
The pundits are divided, the feelings run primal, and the stakes are higher than ever. Will Khamzat calm the storm or get caught up in DDP's turmoil? Hang around, subscribe, and look forward to more tough talking fight analysis as the Octagon approaches.